6 minutes left. Still, both sides could win this.
Absolutely perfect. Das Bauwolf kommt rein, 2 MGs, Peekaboo, Cribabo. Es ist ein Gemetzel.
Look at the carnage. My goodness. Yes, sir. Hello, everybody. Hello, Let Loose community. Welcome to the kickoff of the HCA season. It's good to have you all here. As you know, we're running on a 30-minute delay. We're going to test this out. I know teams were interested in getting a little more time just so that we keep everything in the spirit of competition fair. So we're going to see how this goes. But before I even jump into what we're doing today, can we just give that man, Dallas Altberg, a big shout out? That dude does amazing work every single time he's been called. I mean, that trailer was really awesome. So let me give a quick round of applause to that man because he works hard, and I've seen this guy put in the work. I mean, I know last minute changes and some of these logos that needed to get updated last minute. We grind behind the scenes, man. So shout out to him and thank you for what you do. Also, I would be remiss, Ghosty, who's part of the org, Stevens, and all the people behind the scenes who made this happen. I mean, a lot of work put in over the summer for this day. I'm excited to get started back. Seems like it's been a long time since the seasonal ended. But yeah, hopefully it's not too rusty and production is as smooth as it can possibly be. So anyway, with that said, you can just see who we got right behind us. We have, or should I say right below us right there, we have Esprit de Corps and Void, and they're teaming up with GOF, Gary's Only Fans. So Esprit doesn't really need much of a mention. This team has been around for a while, but the only difference is they used to team up with OP, Outpost, and BHB, the Bale Hay Boys. They are no longer working as a team this time around. Spree said, you know what, hey guys, it's been a great run, but we're going to try and venture off on our own and do this by ourselves. So this is their first opportunity to show what they've been doing with the recruiting and the training, because it's all 50 Spree guys, and they're going up against Gary's Only Fans, who I'm familiar with from the seasonal. They were part of the conglomerate Tri-Rex, 3 teams down to 2 teams, Bi-Rex, whatever. But they're also a team from the NA side of things, looking to farm their own 50, and they're getting close too. But they brought Void on, and I'm a little bit unfamiliar with these guys, but I can guarantee you if the leadership over at GOF wants Void, I'm sure they're a pretty good fit. I'm sure they've scrimmed and you know they're a good fit, and it's really a matter of how does the chemistry come together. You know, when you play or you don't play with people a whole lot, that might be a little bit of a concern. We're going to find out today. So the match will be on Sainte-Marie-du-Mont. I like the map. It's a very balanced map, a little bit of tanking, infantry. It was played coincidentally in the finals last seasonal with Core and TL, and that was just a barn burner. If you guys have never seen that one, I suggest go back and watch Mr. Nitro's stream, who coincidentally is casting with me on this opening match. So he'll be casting the side of Esprit, and I will be on the side of GOF and Void. Now, in terms of sides, GOF and Void will be running the German side, while Esprit will be on the Allies. Some changes to the meta. We did have a release since the last time we've cast. I know update, I want to see, was it update 12 is it at this point? Update 12 reintroduced the Panther tank, some new skins, among other things. But in terms of how the gameplay and the meta works, they did incorporate commander abilities like precision bombing, and they did tweak that since the last time this update came out. It's no longer 500 munitions to drop the precision bomb. It's only 250. However, the cooldown period is still the same at 20 minutes. I guess my thoughts on it are still, we'll see, because I'm not sure how it looks in comp. I don't know how effective, if it's a good use of your munition node, especially with artillery being as effective as it is. There also is the ability now for the commander to drop supplies. So you can refuel rockets and bandages or just regular ammo. I'm not sure. I think it's like 200 munitions might be. I'd have to go back and check, but probably something that we're going to see a lot of today. But that pretty much. In the Panther, from what I understand, and this is just word on the street. I don't know. I don't really tank much, but from what I understand, I'm hearing people in the competitive scene saying that the Panther is a slight bit OP. We'll find out. Gary's only will be probably doing a lot of the tanking, so we're going to get to see firsthand just how strong this Panther is. Also, I believe the AT guns were nerfed quite a bit. Now, can I tell you exactly how much? I just know it's no longer 2 shots to the frontal armor of tanks now, and they're taking them out. So that is going to be a difference in terms of tactics. Maybe they don't employ so many AT guns. But anyway, like we said, we're in a little early with the extra time. So what I'm going to do is just kind of take you through like some of like my pregame players to watch that will impact in some way or another the outcome of this match. So we're going to start off with our infantry, because GOF is primarily, I believe, a great ground and pound squad, led by a guy that very familiar to me, a guy named Killswitch. Solid shooter. If he's got his STG working today, I expect he's going to have a huge game. He puts up big numbers in pretty much all competitions. Whenever I've seen him with the Friday night fights, or if I've seen him in the seasonal, he's generally at the top of the leaderboard. So he's always going to be that person who's on attack. So you're going to have to handle him and his buddy. I'm not sure if they're going to be separate squad leaders. Actually, I don't believe Killswitch is a squad leader, but maybe this gentleman here, Dirty Dan, might be, because Dirty Dan puts up some dirty ass numbers. Let me tell you, this guy, just a pure straight shooter. If he sees you, he's going to kill you. I mean, there's no, he doesn't miss. How do you beat that? Don't get seen. That's it. Just hide, and just hopefully, he's not near line of sight, and you can get around, because head to head, you're going to lose probably 9 out of 10 of those matches. Another ground and pound, one of the leaders of GOF, guy needs no introduction. This guy's my boy Muck Snapper. He'll be probably, these 3 guys will be the ones out on the tip of the spear, pushing the attack. And another guy who, he's kind of like I call him like the all around. He's like the jack of all trades. He does a little of everything, from what I understand. He squad leads, he commands. I've seen him command. I've seen him tank in matches. My boy, Gorilla, Thriller, Killer, that's my boy right there. Yeah, love the hair, always did. He's looking great. So those are the impact players. Those are the guys that I think are going to have the biggest and impact on. But there are others. Trust me. I have quite a few of the lower thirds loaded up into the deck, and I appreciate the guys who last minute did get me their pictures. So whoever stands out today, we will get you that love. We will show you that love, definitely. I love doing this for you guys. But anyway, so now that you know, and let's switch gears. Let's jump over to the Esprit side. I'm also very familiar with these guys. Seen a lot of these guys again in the community events, especially Friday night fights. I don't have their thirds loaded up, but guys like Shaka Zulu, Takahara, High Speed Hilly, Ford, and I'm not sure if Inchon is still the man commanding, but I know he's a guy who's got a big part in the planning and how everything gets implemented. He's kind of like the guy who puts everything together. So I'm interested in seeing if he gets the call, if he picked his own number this time, or is he just going to kind of, be the guy behind the scenes, making sure the team runs well. But we shall see. And while we're doing this, the map was flipped. Nothing big here. Let's see. Let me just switch teams in case these guys, don't. Well, they're going to flip it again. I'm not even worried. What I'm talking about. So, yeah, Spree is going to be, I don't know. Interesting. I know they had great tankers. I know they played the line last year and beat them actually on this map. And I believe they beat them 4-1. The side, I'm not familiar. It might have been the Allied side. Might have been. I'm not sure, but I know that these guys are definitely a quality squad, and I'm curious to see what they've done in terms of recruiting, because I know that OP and BHB had some great players as well, and they've had that chemistry and that synergy to become a good team. They trusted one another, and now you've got a whole bunch of new recruits, and you're trying to get them in and get them to understand how the meta works. Not just, I'm a great FPS player, but the game, you have to think a lot and be in the right place at the right time, and positioning, getting in the right buildings. We all know how important that is, and we're going to see just how well that plays out today. But anyway, I would like to go into just a little bit of the rest of the teams. So I'm just going to pop this thing up here. This is the majors, by the way. There are two groups being played. Majors, which are the season teams, the teams that most of us recognize from the seasonal, who are proven commodity. And as you can see, Spree will be playing Gary's Only. We have DC Raptors and WTH playing. The Line and Core. 116 plays 82nd. Evo, which is the Chinese team, and they played Trigger, I believe, earlier this morning. And I want to say Trigger won that match in less than an hour. I wasn't able to watch the VOD for some reason it wouldn't load, but I saw the time, and it was just slightly under an hour, so I'm not sure if that included the pre-match stuff, but they definitely won in less than an hour, perhaps maybe 45 minutes, depending on how long the delay was. 38th this week will be on a bye, and pretty much everything else just repeats. So in terms of times of these matches, let's jump to that. Well, maybe we won't jump to that. It's not loaded in. But in terms of predictions, interesting. I'm trying to think. Based on what the community thinks, Gary's OnlyFans and Gary's OnlyFans and Void really don't have much of a chance. But I'm going to tell you what, I'm not convinced Esprits had enough time to train their guys. And it's going to come down to tanking, because I think infantry, hear me out, I give the slight nod to GOF Void. Slight. I know Spree has plenty of great shooters. However, I think tankers, Spree has the better tankers. But that's not to say that GOF with Cammy and those guys and Romulus aren't great players. It's just, anybody can have an off day, but if you're going to say who has a slight advantage, I'm leaning toward a Spree for sure. Commander, it's a toss-up. I know people, I don't think they give the commander role enough enough love. I think that's a really important role. Timing of bombings and just making sure you're dropping your supplies on time and you're communicating and just relaying all the information down to your squad leaders. It's kind of like that statistic that just doesn't show up, that nobody really knows how important the job is until you get somebody in that command chair who's kind of new. And when you're talking high-level comp and, you know, a bombing run that was just slightly off that misses the garrison versus the one that hits, that's those small little nuances, those idiosyncrasies that in a game, when it's on the line, when that point is either going to flip or be defended, you're going to need that commander to be that person who stems the tide and is the difference maker. So we'll see. We'll see who's in the chair. I think Sneaky from GOF is generally thought of as the main commander, and I would be my money would be on him being in that chair. And for Spree, again, if Incheon is in this, he'll be commanding, I believe. If not, it's anybody's guess at this point. I haven't reached out and, you know, asked these guys to give me their roster. Maybe they're just kind of keeping it to themselves, but we're going to find out soon enough. In terms of time, it's 3 o'clock. How are we looking? We have everybody in server for the Axis, or not the Axis, excuse me, the Spree team. All 50 are loaded, and I guess because it's 3:02, we're just patiently waiting on GOF and Void to arrive, which hopefully will be momentarily. So what else do I have for you guys? Let's see. Not a whole lot, but you know what? We will just load up the scene. We'll just jump in, and we'll just take a look at what's happening. So, as you can see, people are loading in. Romulus, Riot, Shen, Athens. Yeah, all the GOF boys are rolling in. And we do have the time. We do have Takahara, a name that I recognize. Digi, how can I forget Digi? Digi's a great player, smart player. He'll probably be that recon, that forward element. Stormtrooper, I've seen him command. High-Speed Hilly, we all know. Ford is a great player. He's a killer. Look out for him. General T, I recognize that name. He's a killer. Incheon is playing. Therefore, I'm assuming he's going to be the commander for a Spree on the Allied side. Drone, I recognize this guy. English gentleman. I've actually seen him pubbing. He's on the Spree. Good dude. Recon also, from what I remember him. So yeah. Oh, and Valhalla. Valhalla, a great player, great shooter. Plenty of YouTube videos. Check him out. Excel. Oh, how can I forget Excel? And Shaka's here, of course. But on the flip, Prokage, a name I recognize. Soap is going to do artillery. Bullet, familiar with him. He's just a great all-arounder. He plays everything. Muck, squad leading probably. Iron Ranger, all these guys. Yep. Tango, smart player, very smart. Knows the game in and out. Athens, look out for him. Great shooter. Solid, as solid as they come, man. He knows the game. I mean, look at that. He's only 8 away from being a 500. I mean, think he plays the game some. Alex, Cammy, and Stevie. I know Cammy, obviously. Alex, Stevie. See these guys occasionally. Senpu, great player. Omen of War. Oh, God, yeah. Kill Switch is here. Craven. It looks like we've got the A teams, honestly. Everybody's here that should be here. So I'm expecting a really tight match, a really intense match. So we're just going to hang out here a little bit. Oh, and it is Sneaky S Commander. I was correct. So he's a seasoned veteran. He knows. So in those critical moments when things need to, happen, he's the right guy for that. So 3:05, just waiting for the official flip. Hopefully, and you should have your map closed. Let me get out of there. Let me just jump in here. All right. So anyway, again, we're patiently waiting for the flip. Patiently waiting for the flip. I will just jump in game. I'm always afraid I'm gonna get that mouse bug. It's the last thing I need before the start of a cast is having these dudes yeah. We're gonna go lay down. We'll just jump up a little bit. All right, here we go, up and away. So I would say the meta, as per usual, will be building nodes in the main HQ. That's like a whole build process. You got guys, and we got the flip, cool. Well, I'll have to do the switch one more time. The camera work, I should say, one more time. Yeah, but anyway, we'll talk more about the meta of the start of a match. There's like a whole process. You drop your supplies, you redeploy to the OP. It's people spend, I would imagine, a great deal of time on their opener, because I mean, the last thing you need is to be down early 3-2 on the cap in the mid. That's not a good look. So hopefully these guys boot me out of the squad if I'm a problem. I'm gonna take my rifleman class and just go beat it somewhere. All right, that's fields. I'm gonna jump over here. All right, gents, let me go run and just hide in the bush. All right. Okay, all right, so let's get the scoreboard up and running. So there's about a 2-minute wait. Our midpoint is Pierre's Farm. Interesting. I like Pierre's Farm. It's open, a couple buildings, as you can see, a little trench network just to the northeast. There's a glider, but yeah, it's really an open area, except for the cap itself. So tanks I think are going to be a very important piece of, this midpoint here. There's just a lot of skin. And in the mean, we're going to jump over to the mid and see what these boys are doing over here. And exactly it. This is the mad scramble. Get things built. Soap's already on the guns. He's ready to. He's probably just waiting for the timer on the match warm up to count down. He's going to jump in that gun. Our guys from Void, he also skirt is going to jump in the other gun next to him. But let's try and jump with the masses. Where is the mass cluster of? So yeah, it's hard to say. Just to get this little ping. So there it is. That's generally, yeah, they drop OPs, after the guys have dropped their supplies, then they respawn on the OP, jump back in the truck. And it's a mad dash for the point. Now, map control is generally what you look to go for, so it's going to be interesting. Oh, I did forget this. This is also interesting. With the update, the ability now to ride on the tops of tanks and stand with rockets. I've seen some crazy stuff. I've seen people launching rockets. It's sick. So anyway, about to get started. And it appears they're going straight up the E column, or excuse me, the F column. So that I think they want to get control of the G5 and then work their way in toward the cap, the hard point, which is Pierre's Farm. So that's one group going west. This is the main group, I believe, that will be going toward the strong point itself. it's going to be pretty sick. It's definitely going to be a pretty sick opening. So we're going to jump off of these guys because they're going to head up probably to this area in F6. And we're going to jump on with the other group right here. This other group, oh, that's the commander. That's not the group we want. We're going to get off the commander because he's just not that important at the moment. We need this, and here he is. He's out there. Make it count, baby. Let's go. Right through the tree. Man, did he just drop him in the tree? That was pretty crazy. And there goes the rocket shot. Sailed it. Didn't happen. Didn't get anywhere. But man, oh man, we have bodies in the point from both sides. Artillery doing what artillery does in the beginning, making life difficult. Can you get into cover? Can you get into cover quick enough before artillery starts putting that work in on you? And it does appear as though Gary's Only fans and Void are winning this cap, and they're moving up. Bear Core, Snit, one-on-one versus Striker. Striker gets that one. And now the point's contested. Spree is pulling it back their way. Artillery from a Spree is absolutely making life miserable for GOF Void. And it does appear, look, Valhalla, there's one of our killers. Oz and Sap, 3-on-1. Yeah, you just want to just kind of lay low, wait for your boys to show up. And now they've pulled even, so whatever cap progress happened early is now been neutralized by a Spree. And a Spree is on the move toward capping Pierce Farm. Now we've got tank play. From both sides. Looks like we've got Omen, Cammy, and Bebo in the Panzer IV. Things are starting to get a little desperate. He's got HE loaded up. I'm pretty sure if he can catch some bodies and knock them out of the strong point itself, then they can possibly contest this midpoint cap. So I think that's the play for the Panzer IV, but it doesn't look like Spree's cooperating, and they're in firm control. I mean, maybe if GOF and I'm going to say Soap gets a nice artillery round, and there's a YOLO from the Hammer Time Finster. Nice job of taking out that infantry, man. You had to do it. You got to dive. You got to get rid of this infantry. Boy, you just clapped an OP. That's what this tank is for. It's just to be a disruptor. Get in the backfield and cause as much havoc as possible before you get satcheled or AT'd, as it's going to happen. And what a great play, because look what that's done now. Look what it's done. It's now falling back towards GOF Void. They got a fresh respawn, and unless that artillery, and it's still doing a job, that artillery is just doing a hell of a job. They need to get out of that kill zone. So where's the kill zone? They've got this area just southwest, a Spree with the artillery. They're just hammering the wheat field. Now in terms of map control, you can see it's very important. Excel, Boomer, Talk, all these guys. Hornet TV, Cool. Man, they are just working. They are just working the farthest edge. And Myth and Deep Divers, which are right here, are going to have a real time. I think they're going to get wrapped. And I think that's what they want to do. They want to come up underneath and hook under Pierce Farm. Man, what a great battle. What an amazing battle to start this HCA season, man. What a great start. Back and forth. This is almost, 8 minutes now fighting. And I don't think we're anywhere close to done. Two evenly matched teams. Gary's Only's pulling it back again their way, 50% now. So that's basically a minute of continuous cap. Big spawn. And Gary's Only Void will have this point. Wow, in whatever flank they had with Excel and Talk, it appears Deke and Skype and Worst Guitarist and all those guys, it seems like they've pushed them from getting wrapped, although they have OP lit red. Down went Talk. 80%, I think we're almost ready to call this boom, and you got Cammy and Omen of War in there. It's about to go. It's about to go. I think we got it. Hell yeah, let's go, baby. Gary's Only GOF and Void popping out to that early 3-2 lead. Took them about a good 10 minutes to get this point, but let's jump in and take a look at Garrison's. Remember, on the flip, and I'll fight this hard, the point is not 100% in the hands, and they have it under control. Because clearly, Garrison was probably built, Red Zone Garrison, just on the fringe. In the soft cap, but that's going to be the play for a spree. They want to go on the furthest edge and work. That's hard sledding. And Gary's Only Void do have Garrison in 8-6, right where they're spawned in. So it's going to be tough for them. I mean, they could lock it if they're within 100. I think that might be their play, just get close enough. But in the meantime, the hard point with Revenant, Coco, Sap, they're on top of these buildings. Look at this, so smart. Look at this. Getting on top of buildings, so important. So much time. And this is one of our big killers here. Valhalla. You got your cover. You can poke your head out, snap whatever, anything that's coming from the west, from the cornfields. You know, toggle lean that bad boy. This is where artillery needs to take the center, because these guys right now are in great positions. So that might be Garrison. Let me check. That was a big spawn, and it is Garrison in the wheat field. Bombing run, it appears. That is a Axis bombing run to the north. Now again, getting that good call out from your squad leaders, super important. I'm not sure how effective it was. It might have, yeah, it didn't catch. Well, I don't believe OPs are destructible by bombing runs. There was the Esprit bombing run. Wow, we have some serious tank play. Where are these guys dialing it up from? Long distance, I bet. Yeah, so here's your tank play. We got General T, Stormtrooper, and Morningstar in the 75. Yep. Just gonna sit here for a little bit and just pepper the buildings with HE. Take out whatever they can now. Once again, look, the point was never secure. Ooh, great shot. Did he take something down with that? Man, he is just, and 50% now back the other way for a Spree. And you know what? Their tanks, Spree tanks, are up. And I'm not seeing nothing right now from Gary's Only GOF. I call him Gary's Only Void. I'm going to get that right. But 50% the other way. A little bit of a contest. I wonder if Garrison, is it still up? Nope, Garrison was removed in the H6. So Garrisons are not, I mean, you have to run, we're talking, you know, from here, that's 200 meters. That's 200 meters before you're in the hard cap. Oh, Garrison just got put up, not the greatest spot, kind of like an emergency Garrison. But you need to save the point. You just put it up wherever you can get it. But yeah, an amazing fight over Pierre's farm. I mean, even though Gary's only has the cap, they're not in a good position right now. They're getting pushed off the point slowly. They are getting slowly wrapped. It's going to be up to Myth. My guy Myth. Let's jump on Myth for a little bit. He's an SL. Let's see what Myth can do. What are you going to do, Myth? Show me what you got, Myth. Just waiting on the side for anybody that wants to poke their head out. Now, with that said, the cap has been repelled. Takes down, what is that? I couldn't catch his name, but Myth gets one. Now that's OP. That's right behind the point. So great little fight within the fight for map control. A couple great shots. Myth is just putting some serious work in now. Stick with him for a minute. But in the meantime, yeah, him and Prankster putting work. Man, those two guys single-handedly, and he takes down Skav. Prankster and Myth just single-handedly destroyed the push on the east side of Pierre's farm. Great job. Back to the strong point itself. Plenty of Esprit guys. They cannot control. Oh, and there he is. This is our Panther. I mean, excuse me. Yeah, our Panther. I got that right. Dalsron, Ramari, and that's my boy Gorilla. Gorilla Tactics. Great position now. This is what I'm talking about. They can pull back and get cover, hard cover. All they need is a repair station and they're really in business. But when you have infantry around you, like, yeah, I would be very careful he doesn't get satcheled. And that's just it. We're literally on the strong point itself, Pierre's farm. And Esprit has control of the hard point itself. So I'm curious as to, wow, holy, they are deep. Shaka Zula and the boys are deep in. So where are we exactly? We are actually in the F6 in the soft cap of GOF Void, and they're having a hard time. They cannot push off and get Esprit off their back. They can't even breathe, and they're making their way into the hard cap. Now, we know Kill is always on the hunt. Where is he going? Man, it's they're holding on, but by the seat of their pants, they are just holding. Man, that's a full squad too. So Iron Ranger, let's see my boy Iron Ranger. What's he going to get into? Just gonna slow crawl it. My boy Iron Ranger's just gonna slow crawl it. We ain't mad at you, man. We know it's tough in there. We know. He pops up, gets a little action, and then drops straight down. Now, if he had a grenade handy, he can possibly get the squad lead in Zulu. But they definitely know. My boy Porkage's back. Haven't seen that guy in a minute. We have Muck Snapper out on the west flank. So they're definitely going to control the F, and I believe it's a little too far for Garden, but yeah, Garden's not the. I forget, is it Pizza Slice, or they have all these names. I'm a little out of touch, but definitely this cluster right here in F6 is what they want. They want to control, and obviously Recon is doing what Recon does, getting way deep in behind, but they want garrisons out to the west, and don't allow them into the sector. The sector being GH 5-6. Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing how many times the spree is just literally in this strong point. And I can't believe the Panther is still up. They haven't. Oh wow, that was amazing artillery. Great shot. But I think our man Sap might get it. Our man Sap is on it. You gonna get it, Sap? HE round might take you out if he gets it off. Ooh, yep, HE round. It's another reason why you stay close to the buildings. That splash damage. Ugh, that's just filthy. So it's like a part of the meta from what I remember seeing TL. They had tank simps, guys that would just literally follow these tanks around and just repair stations and just get on top of them and just repair them. So, yeah. Tanks, we all know. That Panther single-handedly has been holding this point for quite a while. Ooh, down it went. And look, artillery is just doing amazing work for a spree. And what is that? We have a... Omen is in the Panzer... Oh, they got another Panther up, man. Look at this. So, let's just take a look at their resource situation. Even though the point is going down, let's just take a quick look. So munitions are, wow, fuel is 0, but they are plus 90, so they basically used all of it. So yeah, things are going to be pretty lean. If they lose this Panther, it's not going to look good. It's not going to look good at all for GOF and Void. And they're already 50% capped. It's going to come down to that infantry saving the day one more time. Garrison, not contested. So, but I do believe they being a spree, they know where their garrison is, and they just keep crushing it with artillery. I mean, it keeps hitting the same spot right here. So they definitely have it marked, because I mean, it's just been non-stop the entire time. Right? Yep, these guys are going to be out on that right flank for quite a while. I don't think anything's going to change. Deep divers and guitarist, they're pretty much going to stay out there with Prankster and Myth. Gets Garrison. We saw that get eliminated. Great bombing run. That has to be Incheon. Incheon probably with that great bombing run with the great intel. They were hitting it with artillery, and when that, 10-minute recharge finished. And what do we got? We have tank on tank. Great shot. We caught that one. Good shot by the crew of Cammy, Omen, and Bibo. That was huge. But I don't know if that's enough to save the point, because in spite of that tank not being there, there was just a ton now of spree guys. And here comes the tank one more time. Panther working its way into the strong point, collapsing in, sensing that, we need to get this infantry out. Now, who has the wrap? Now, if there's somebody wrapped, no, they have nobody wrapping. They have nobody in the 5 right now currently, so they're still on the back foot. GOF is still, and plenty of Esprit guys are deeping in behind them. So they're encircled bad. And I do believe this point will eventually flip to Esprit. So what are they doing? What is GOF getting ready for? Because they're gonna lose this garrison on the point, so they'll have just one garrison remaining. This is where Dirty Dan, you know, maybe needs to drop down, get garrison up underneath. Bombing run appearing, coming. We got another bombing run. Bombing run looks like from the west. Just missed. But, once again, tanks saving the day. One Panther, and is the other Panther still up? We've got 2 Panthers for GOF. Hell of a fight, man. I'm a little bit surprised. I did say earlier in the pre-show that the Esprit group had the advantage on tanking, but at least not at this moment. It's proving to not be the case. And it does seem like the Esprit team is winning a lot of these gunfights. And I think it has a lot to do with map control, because in the one-on-ones, face-to-face, they're winning, but I think a lot of, because they're so deep behind them, and we're about to get this boom. Yes, sir. Let's get it. And now it's 3-2 the other way now for Esprit. Oh, let's get this. Let's get this on. Yeah, that was a little fumble on my end. Sorry about that. Production fail. So, like I said, one garrison here. Now Dirty Dan was in the vicinity. Where's the other Gary? 50 not enough. That might get locked out as well. Dirty Dan's over here. So he does have OP, and just needs another support player drop there. But let's see. Let's see if let's see how aggressive Esprit plays this. Because I'm not sure if they want to just strict. Because Sainte-Marie-du-Mont, first of all, is a very, very difficult point to take. Even after they've opened it up. I know the updates, they opened up certain, so it's not as locked down, but man, it's still an easy place to defend. So, yeah, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens now. They're definitely looking to push the sector. This is the box out or the peripheral defense. They're trying to gain the cornfields, you know, jump in the building where Takahara is, and you know, basically force, which they're doing right now, GOF to come in from this open area. If you could force them to come in from that area and not allow them to get into cornfields, big advantage. Panther needs to get back to where his, and he just gets clipped. Who got him out there? Is that a, might have been an AT gun, not sure. But down goes the Panther. Fuel situation, not sure if it's looking any better these days. 580 plus 60, so they have all nodes built. Manpower is very, very low. Munitions, same thing. But it's gonna be a little time. So they just need to put up a strong backline defense, which they have, which I can see they have a garrison here and there. The 8 is covered. They do have a forward garrison. Perhaps someone down a little further in F8 out wide, because I think that's what they want to do. I think Esprit is looking to flank hard. You're not going to attack Sainte-Marie-du-Mont on the edge. It's just not feasible. So obviously the attack will come from the west, and they'll look to go probably 2 grids in deep and maybe get a red zone garrison here. And I think this is going to be an area of contention real soon. F8 will be a hot area. So we're approaching the 30-minute mark after like a real intense opener. Things have kind of settled down a little bit. Everybody kind of, you throw everything in that midpoint, and wherever the cards land, once it's all said and done, okay, now you got to take your time. Now you got to group up. You basically spent everything for that midpoint because everybody knows how important it is. So quick look, strong front line, but they're being contested in the back. Not sure. I'm thinking recon, but we'll keep our eyes on this area here. Sneaky's already building back garrisons. And I definitely want to see the tank situation. I'm not seeing many tanks on the board. And their fuel situation is also with 100 not looking very tight. So after a really solid open, you could just see some of the veteran play from a spree. They didn't panic. They were constantly in the hard cap and just wore down basically GOF and Void. And I'm glad to see that the meta's changed because it used to never be this easy. Once the mid was capped, I think it was some crazy number like well over like 50% of all matches ended once one team capped the midpoint. There wasn't much in the way of retaking the mid once it was taken. So like I said, and we still have tanks just dropping dimes out there. Who is in that? That is somebody out there, I believe. Who is that? That is a 76. Look at this sneaky, devious little spot. And I mean, look at this. Great positioning. I mean, just pokes the gun barrel out when he needs to and then retreats. But very smart veteran play right there, covering the strong point from the northwest in this little cluster of houses. So it's going to take a big push from the west because same thing, it's locked with the tank, basically defending the entire H column and part of the G. It's gonna force Gary's only to go out wide and control this area where Dan is about to place garrison. Maybe if there's 100, needs one more. If he can get a supply guy. He needs one dude to come out there and drop that box, and then they slowly work their way in from the west. I think that's what you got to do. I mean, that's quite ambitious way out there, but definitely work it the E to hopefully the F, and then you can start, wrapping. Hopefully you draw some of these guys from Pierre's farm out, and then you can catch them with a quick left. But I don't think a spree's going to fall for that. I think they're very content with just staying home, bringing their tanks up, and basically stacking this entire H and saying, we're just going to create a kill zone for you guys right here. Artillery and, put majority of our infantry. Yeah, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to dislodge a spree from Pierre's farm. Don't give him that much time. Our boy Excel out on his own. Him and Myth. It's like Craven waiting on him right there. Snap. But Boom is about to drop, or Boomer is about to drop the boom. that's the little guy. That's the Puma. And that's just in back defense because I'm sitting right above them, these guys here. So this is just a probing force. Craven's drops one. Yeah, Mungo is not interested. He's just sitting there looking the wrong way. I think Craven, if he turns, we got hit from somewhere else. So as we look west toward the open field, this is where you're gonna need to see the blue dots. And something just got dropped right here. What was that? And the smoke and dust clears. Was that tank? So that was a light guy. That was the looks. Yeah. So yeah, we're basically looking south. And yeah, this is the area that's going to be fought over, basically here and back in through here, the entire F column. Stewart's just on a YOLO mission, just looking to clean up OPs. Yep. Now, if he's not careful, this is what I'm saying, he's not out wide enough. Muck and his group definitely have painted it. Kill Switch, Procog, and Senpu are waiting just to the west for that. There they are. Yep. So with a team like this, a Spree, you have to be patient with them, especially when you're not in a position to really push any action. You're just waiting for your resources to regenerate. But it'll come up to this guy right here. If Muck and Kill, and where am I? I'm basically... Yep, if these guys can get a little bit deeper into the corners, they've already got a garrison. That's a great job. Who is that? Nice job, Tango. Smart guy, did it. And then work your way in. So that's not going to get locked. Now, if you can get tanks up the F, because we know that, and I'm saying German tanks up the west side, the F column, majority of the Allied tanks are going to be sitting in the H. So get behind your infantry, position your tanks to the west of the garrisons, and just support your infantry and slowly roll in behind them. And then you have a chance. You have a chance. So this is basically what we're looking at right here. We need to go basically directly east once they can establish a foothold. But that's going to take time. And especially things are going to be more difficult to do when you got Shago Zulu and Nothing to Lose Fortress. Yeah, they're just probing, just anytime they hear a gun, those guys are like the bounty hunters are coming to get you. Precision bomb. Was it, did it? Tell me, oh my God. Sneaky with the sneaky bomb on the 7.6. Good job. Holy shit, that actually worked. That's huge. Now that kind of frees the cornfield for Muck, Dirty Dan. Now these guys, this is going to get real interesting. Now you're drawing out a Spree because they know garrisons here. This is going to be, this is like a key moment. Dirty Dan is going deeper. Muck is hitting the point proper. And the thing for a Spree is just not to get overextended. Send one or two guys out there to just see what exactly in terms of numbers. Ramari gets the kill on the SL. And now... Muck got dropped by the grenade. Kill switch is there. Now that hurts. Where's Dirty Dan? Is Dirty Dan still back behind the point? Yes, he's deep. Placing OP. And that's what you got to do. You've really got to get your bodies up here. Your attacking force has to get up north. Yeah, these guys are going on the long flank. How you doing, Kiddix? Deep flanks. Okay, Cammy Owen of War. And that's a dead tank. So, again, great positioning. You have a Panther in the game. Big. Great position. Great position. Let's get a little closer. So, sitting, trying to cover the whole entire cornfield to the left. And that's basically where the infantry is trying to get through with Dan. But, yeah, they're not. Esprit is just not making things easy. They're not cooperating. And I think this is going to be like one of these grindy matches. I really think it's going to be... I don't think... I think... What I think is there's enough time right now for Esprit to move up for that 4-1. But I'm not sure if they want to do it yet. Possibly because they don't have the tanks quite in the positions they need them to be. And... GOF still has a Panther close. So they'll probably just play the weight game. If they can take down the Panther with a satchel, then move the tanks up and not have to worry about losing. Ooh, Father Pig with the near doesn't catch muck. Let's see if he catches muck in the wheat. What do you see? What do you see, buddy? Simpu and muck. That's what you found. An Iron Ranger cleaning up. So once again, the compound, I'm imagining OPs would be in here. In this compound. Look, here it is. Here's the garrison. 2 supplies are down. Muck will put up garrison. And they're back in business. But the problem is, you got Shaka Zulu still behind you, and he's just going to stick. His OP is probably somewhere in this vicinity, just outside of the soft cap. Actually, quite a bit. And where are these guys heading? They are trying to make their way down. Yeah. Right now, things are looking, at least for the moment, pretty steady for GOF and Void. Now we just gotta play the weight game and see who's gonna flinch. No, it's just right here. You got 2 teams on the opposite ends of one another. You got Talk and all these guys to the right of our screen, the attacking force, and you've got Simpu, Iron Ranger, Kill Switch, Muck to the west or the left, looking to get through the cornfields into Pierre's farm. And I can't even underestimate just how important the tank play has been. Hammer Time, Bebo, just going around, just taking people out in these cornfields, helping out the infantry big time. And he's back. My boy Hammer Time is just doing what he does. Probably cracking a beer right now saying, this is too easy. This is just too easy. This is just way too easy. So, cornfields clear again. Jenny on the spot when you need him. You know, just the more I swing around, I'm just not. Let me just see the point proper. I mean, we're literally hovering right above the point itself, and you can just see there's this very light presence. Nobody really here defending it. Just skeleton crew defenders with Coco on the MG, sitting in the feeder. Basically, just your in case somebody gets deep. He's basically your back line of defense, and also these gentlemen out here, Stryker, Glennar. This is your deep defense. This is back defense. They're covering the back line on Pierre's. But that right there, Cammy. Yeah, I like this play. I like where they're at. They're in the open field. Very hard to destroy them. It's going to force the infantry to come out. I believe the infantry, the spree infantry. Otherwise, the longer this tank, this Panther sits here, the more time the infantry has, because they're basically not allowing them to get into the 6. So that gives them, the GOF guys, enough time to get up in the 6, get their OPs, possibly place garrison while the tank holds off all infantry coming north in the 5. So let's see how long. I think he's just going to park it right there for quite a while. And does he have targets down there? Interesting. I wonder. Yeah, they keep firing. What are they firing at? Yeah, I'm not seeing what they're shooting at. Maybe they're trying to take out whatever's on the point. That would be. Father Pig trying to do the sneaky stuff and get in behind. Can he do it? No, you're not going to come in from the front, Pig, are you? No, don't do it. Not from the front. What are you doing? No. No. That wasn't going to end well, man. Not from the front. All right, Charlie Squad with Muck. Still, they can't dislodge them from behind. So you got to clean this compound where Iron Ranger is and Ford. There they are. You see each other. They trade. Oh, it was beautiful. I think if the Panther can get in a position to shell the compound so that Muck, Kill Switch, and the rest of these guys don't have to worry about getting shot in their back, because now they're basically surrounded. Revenant to his front, and Vandy, Father Pig, Crustin, everywhere they move, they're getting hit from the front, the back. I mean, they've lost contain. They're just completely surrounded. So I think a little more top-down control, because I think they're getting cut in half. I believe the spree infantry is to the north in the 5, and then below them in the 6, and they're just kind of sandwiched in between both. Well, anyway, back over here. I hate to say that, you know, some of these guys have the more uninteresting tasks of just kind of holding the front line. They just slowly pick you off. That's got to be one of the most frustrating things, because they don't want to attack it from the front, but they're trying their best. I mean, you're basically walking into like a kill zone. Look at this. You know, there's no cover. Maybe if they can make it to the trenches, but yeah, just trying to get into the town of Sainte-Marie-du-Mont is tough. Skype is on there with his MG. You know, just very tough, very tough. Coming directly from the north Pierre's right into. I mean, they can't even lock it out. They can't even lock out Garrison in the 7. So, yeah, I don't know. More forces diverted to getting into that F and controlling this compound. And as we talk, we just passed the halfway point. 3-2 is our score. You know, opening weekend of the HCA seasonal. GOF versus Esprit de Corps. And we are on Sainte-Marie-du-Mont. See, starting to see more bodies. They're committing more bodies, and I mean, GOF is committing more bodies to the west. Almost daring the Esprit team to come attack from the north into Sainte-Marie-du-Mont proper. I mean, you got to know your team. Maybe if you know, hey, man, they're pretty much conservative, they're not going to look to attack, then maybe you can exploit that by directing some of your team that you thought you would put in defense to the offense. Maybe whatever flex team they had, you can, you know, pump more bodies. And I'm just number-wise, I'm seeing at least 2, maybe 3 squads from GOF in the west here. Right above these trenches. Down went tank. I don't know which one. We'll pull the resources one more time for you guys. 300 on fuel. Manpower is just fine. And munitions also fine. Believe it or not, they're actually in a much better position than they were just 20 minutes ago when they had virtually no fuel. So, you know, and they do have 2 tanks in the E column moving up north. So, you know, things are looking better than they were before. Nice healthy spawn. Can sap. Get the clap. Gets Prokage. Takes the, oh, nice play by Sap. He gets OP and he takes down Iron Ranger. Huge play. Gets them out of this area. Oh, that's a huge play. Now, Kill Switch is in the area. So he's just going to wait. You know, and that's smart. You know, you don't want to leave a position where you're in a great place to cover those trenches. You don't want to leave it. So I see why he's in there. But, you know, they're creeping up. GOF and Void, Snip, moving in to the compound. Talk getting dropped by, I can't call it. Was it Senpu that got the drop on him there? Stevie gets beat by Sap. But I think if they can stack that building where Kill Switch is, Kill Switch can then move out, not worry about losing said building, and then he can go do what he does, which is just beat everybody up with that STG-44. Now back on the main, everything just kind of spread out. Not much movement. It's just constant trading back and forth up by the Dragon's Teeth just to our east. Yeah, but it's going to take a concerted effort where both, you're going to need multiple SLs with some tank play to push the east, to the east from west. Hammer Time and Bibo sitting in, he's got a little time to heal that bad boy up. Yeah, that's, yeah, bombing run. That is a Axis bombing run by GOF. General T, Stormtrooper, and Morning Star in the, was that 7-6? Yeah, they're in the 7-6. Like bosses, just got it parked. They were trying to potentially bomb him. And I think you can track but not destroy tanks. I could be wrong. Maybe a direct hit will get rid of them, but most of the splash damage will at least, the very least, track. And now these guys just got soft cap pressure on Pierre's. Not in a great position, not in a great place to launch from. You know, it's going to take some pressure from the west. These guys way out deep. If they can make progress in to help the boys below in the south. But that's only infantry play. This thing right here is that's the gate, or the keeper, the gatekeeper right there. Ford, Vandy, and Krustin. And is that two? Oh my goodness, they have two 76s now. A spree is two 76s east side of Pierre's farm, controlling everything in the 6 and anything that's coming up from the 7. The only hope is to get your tank, your Panther, up top and get these guys out of position somehow. Have them come find you and chase you. Because this is locked. There's just nothing going to move those tanks. And you got to improve your position by getting garrison built up north. And maybe Athens can get it done. I think he's looking somewhere to go deep, drop OP. But yeah, these guys don't know how tough it's going to be forcing it into the hard point itself with 276s on the point proper. Pierre's farm. Garrison, or excuse me, bombing run potentially. So, Allied bombing run. Now, is that just to keep them honest, or do you really think a spree wants to attack? I don't believe so. Now, that was big. What in the... Oh, this is huge. Oh, is that Panther? Panther gets dropped by the 76. And it's now moving into a better position to potentially attack. I don't think so. I think... Honestly, I don't know why it's up here. So it's a little deep. You know what? I mean, they do have infantry support to its rear, but yeah, I'm not sure you want to keep your 76 that far off the point. You know, put them back in that field, in that cornfield where you had it prior. So I was right. Incheon is the commander. Now, airhead. We have a German airhead just southwest of Pierre's, which we are watching right now drop. And I want to say, yeah, no problem. No problem. Touchdown right on top of Incheon, of all people. And he's going to get it. And he does. Takes that out with ease. Where we go. Didn't catch it. And there's our tank simps. As we said earlier, right on the back and fill that bad boy up. Omen, Magilla Gorilla, and Cami. Now they must think was the 76 destroyed? Because no. Just no. It's out there. Whimsy, one in the One in the rear, loading up the second one. Is he going to get it off in time? Oh, guitar worse. Oh, hit him, guitar. Oh, hit him. Oh, that K98. Interesting. Do we have anything? We got a nice... Ooh, this is a heavy push. They're committed. Like, sick and tired of these wide flanks, man. It just sucks. And now things are going to get interesting. Now, is there a garrison? There's no red zone garrison. That would be really something. Wow. Was that a precision bomb? I think it was. That is just crazy. They had it right when they needed it. Incheon with a freaking laser bomb that takes out Panther. Essentially squashes whatever progress they had from the southwest. Well, it's pretty easy too when you're sitting right next to the tank as well. He didn't have to guess where it was. He knew precisely where it was. But yeah, 30 minutes remaining in this match, and firmly in the hands of a spree. And we just saw just the slightest bit of cap progress on the 4th point, and yeah, it's not much. I think 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think that's just GOF overcommitting to that point. We just saw it on the push before the bomb came and took away. But now the rest of the people will respawn on back and clean up whatever's back there. So they took their shot and it didn't work. I mean, if that bomb wasn't there, then maybe. But right now, Incheon right now, I think with one of the key plays of the game and keeping that Panther from getting into the hard cap and doing some real work. And I do hear artillery rocking. Look at these guys. See, they knew it. They knew it. Just the one tank, the 176 was the YOLO tank that was in the point underneath Pierce Farm in the 6. That was kind of expendable. Probably doing really well with resources. They had the opportunity to just waste it. They probably have enough fuel for at least 2, maybe 3 even 7.6s at this point. So, yep. They knew what they were doing. Go ahead. Yep. And that's the 76 shelling the cornfield to the southwest, along with artillery right now. Oof. And it does appear that we are seeing more than just a probing attack at this point. Is Valhalla, did he put the dirty on top of him? He's just taking him. I don't know what he's doing up there. That can't be satcheled. Whatever, they're not waiting around. Hammer Time must have had his crew taken out. Now he's surrounded. Holy shit. No infantry support. Mongo with the AT rocket. Valhalla with the AT. Man. They're in the soft cap. Spree's in the soft cap. You know, I think they're saying Spree's like, we have all the tank support. We don't have anything in the flanks to worry about. You know, let's just put some soft cap pressure on Sainte-Marie-du-Mont just so that they can't keep launching. We have to keep them honest, you know. Got to keep GOF honest. They just can't keep constantly throwing bodies at the point. Yep, and look, once you gain the positions that they're in, look, this building, these buildings here are in the soft cap with cover. So let's see. Do they bring tanks with them? Or do they just leave them home? We all know that they're going to leave. Spree's going to leave one up top. What are they going to do with the other tanks? Yeah, they're definitely going for it. Wiz got taken out. You know, he's trying to go in deep with his, and I'm surprised they're trying to come in along the H. That's real difficult, not a lot of room, but there's a lot of cover, so I don't know. I don't know if I would attack from that area, but I guess it's worth a try and see what happens. Boomer and Calabos, same thing, just trying to get in. Now, garrisons, they probably would want to replace the one that was been removed. Either Baker, yeah, but they can't because they're engaging. Yep, and further back the Panther goes. So the best thing for GOF in this group is to hope they get overextended. These guys defending this line can clap everybody that's just north and allow D, C, Muck, Athens, and the rest of these guys to hook up over and around. That's what has to happen. We're not seeing it yet, but they're primed and ready. I mean, you have at least 2 full squads or more with Dirty Dan, Muck Snapper, and Deep Divers, excuse me, squad leads over to the west. And there's another squad leader even further out. So they'll cycle OPs and get people in there. So the threat to the west is still there, while Alex, Nah, and the rest of the Void Overblaze need to keep a Spree trapped in those trenches and not allow them to gain access into this cemetery. Solo getting the shot on Rangu. Overblaze clapping sololess. Now if he can get, yeah, he got the OP. Good job. Yep. So tank play. Let's see. We've got 1 tank in game. Fuel, I'll just tell you it's down to 250 again. 22 minutes remaining. You're going to get one more heavy. You're going to get one more heavy, pretty much. GOF needs big kills on those tanks, the Spree tanks. But I don't know if they can touch them. Again, this map is wide open, lots of open fields. I'm not really sure they're going to be able to get close enough to get rid of them. Maybe AT guns, but okay, Panther is back in action, fully crewed. where is he trying to go? Where is he trying to go with this? Just sit here, protect garrison. It's a jump-off point. You can get a little deeper. I think he's smart if he just sits in the F7. Hopefully allow the infantry to get out west further. See, Panzer IV, same thing. You know, what's really huge, and I'm going to have to just look at it because I haven't done it all match, is look at the situation on the artillery guns, because soap is popping. Deco and Cry are over there. You know, you got Luminol, squad leader. This is how important artillery is, that you're literally dedicating teams, squad leads, to taking out snipers. Crazy. And these guys have been fighting here the whole entire time. Like, here we are an hour and 10 into the match, and these guys have been battling over this cornfield for the entire length. Now, while they're being delayed, it allows the artillery to do what they do. Now, artillery snipes are a thing. Anyway, back over to Pierre. Yeah, nothing lit red, which means Spree is, I wouldn't say turtled, but they're not pushing. And if Soap can get a couple precision artillery strikes at the right time, with Myth now moving up, if they can force their way into these, well, not from that direction. Again, it's going to come from way out here in the trenches to the west, where we've got, yeah, majority. Yeah, look. 1, 2, 3 squad leads trying to gain the F6 trenches. It's insane. Wiz getting a pop on Iron Ranger. What's Dirty Dan doing over here? Come on, Dirty. Treat him dirty, Dan. There's no love. Look at Dan getting a clap. Easy clap. Right, Muck? No problem. Oh, and that's Garrison. Okay, Danny boy. Okay, Danny boy. We haven't used it in a while, but we're going to hit you with that one. Good, great play, buddy. Great play. I see you. We're still riding with you, Danny. They can't get you. I can dance all day. Take that Band-Aid out. So he takes out the enemy garrison. Now that does leave the door open. You know, if they get a fresh spawn. Ranger, Sempu, Dirty Dan. Here we go. With the rest of the cavalry coming up. And those little flares right now, I forgot about mentioning those. They kind of light everything, illuminate the whole entire area. Not a real fan of that. I think they're completely, what is it, you know, exploited. Yeah. I've seen people that just redeploy, shoot the gun, redeploy, shoot the gun. You can just basically just light up the whole entire sector. And there we have it. We know, you know, a ton of infantry. Not surprising. You know, that's pretty much been the fight the whole time. So now it's because they don't have enough fuel, I think, for the bigs. It's the little guys hopefully trying to take out as many garrisons and OPs. And it's going to come down to the infantry. Oops, sorry about that. It's going to come down to them. 550. I'll pull the scoreboard just so you guys can see. On the fuel, you need 600 for the big, and it'll be up in about a minute, and that still gives you plenty of time. What about 16 and minus the 2? You're talking 14 minutes, and by the time it gets into the action. So, yeah, you got 10 minutes with a big... Dan going down to nothing. How's Iron Ranger doing? He's got his rocket. Where you going? What do you see, Ranger? What do you see? Hey. He's taking out infantry with that bad boy. I don't see no tanks in the area. Yep. Unfortunately, not much has changed. It's really just a fight over key areas. That's it. Commander's busy dropping, stacking supplies. I mean, take down a garrison. There's 10 drops sitting there waiting in and around the sector. It's real hard to, beat a team once they've had so much time to build up the area. Commander Sneaky's in the fight. He's no longer building garrisons anymore. Well, he just did right there. Well, would you just look at it? Oops. Hey. So big move here. If this Panther goes down, and we're talking like roughly 10 minutes in this match. If this Panther goes down, I don't know. I don't think it's going to work today for Goff Void if this one goes down. They got to protect him, get some infantry around. And I'm not seeing much in the way of blue dots. He's just kind of on an island. Line is getting pressed awfully hard too, and not by a big. I mean, we're talking like one. You got one squad leader in XL, so that's what back line has been doing a pretty good job holding, but okay, Robert's position with his MG. Covering the back alley by the cemetery on Sainte-Marie-du-Mont. But I gotta say, it's been a very entertaining, evenly matched fight. Early on, Goff had the point after I'm trying to jog my memory here. They took the point off the jump and then lost it. I want to say, and it's pretty much been in the hands of Spree for probably close to the last hour. And I think because Spree does respect Goff, and they're not really, and obviously because of the position being Sainte-Marie-du-Mont, the next cap, I think they're just content with just riding this out. They just want to put just enough of a pressure where they got to keep Goff honest. If this group here, this one squad you know, can just punch a hole through and get into and get some of these back garrisons, you may see Spree go for a 4-1, but I think at this point they're really content with just boxing out, positioning tanks, and just walking away with the first W of the HCA season, you know, week 1. Yeah, Shaka just sitting further west and just kind of reconning, just watching, seeing what's built. Because, I mean, he's aware that if a garrison gets placed where Steve is, I mean, he needs to know where it is, and he'll take that down. So, patrol out west, make sure there's no garrison, and then slowly move back to the trenches. And these guys are doing a very good job. Great job. Uh-oh. Where are you going there, Talk? You gonna clap that OP, buddy? Senpu with the long distance dedication. I haven't called the man's name out too much, but I haven't seen Kill Switch on the front too much, or Muck. I'm not sure what's going on. Yep, Gorilla is out of the tank. They're down on fuel. It's pretty much lights. Well, there it is. There's the last one. There is the last one. 130 on the fuel. They are plus 90. They did use Encourage. I don't think it's going to be enough time, though, to get another one into the game and have it be effective. They might get one late, but I don't know what it's going to do. There's Kill. Yeah, let me see the garrison. Yeah, there are no forward garrisons. In fact, the garrisons that were surrounding Sainte-Marie-du-Mont have been slowly destroyed. So the left side, the west side of Sainte-Marie-du-Mont is collapsed in. Now that was a bomb that just went off. Stuka. And another successful drop on a 76. Sneaky doing the job with those precision. Hey, I wasn't sure how these things were going to play out. And you know, when they said it, you know, they were going to add this, but apparently it's worth the munitions. People have been dropping them. Artillery, I want to say, is that half-track? Is that a German half-track? Wow, earned his name. For real, Sneaky with the sneaky dirty. Dude, he just rolled it right to the freaking hard cap. Are you shitting me? I mean, they know it's there, but dude, he got it into the cap. That's crazy work. Are you shitting me now? Oh, Athens from the south, Procogate. Whoa! Whoa! Well, yeah, holy shit. Could it be? Could it be a late second? Where? They have to protect this half-track. But kudos to GOF having the cojones. And here comes the Panther. Oh, they're on him. Oh, shit, they got Panther. 2 rockets to the rear. What a beautiful timing. Now, Sneaky going with the bomb run, the last one. The cap is effectively stopped on the mid for Pierre's farm. And half track eliminated. Panther eliminated. You've got a follow-up bombing run. Oh, wait a minute. My bad. That was Sneaky's bombing run. Didn't run through. It didn't run its course. But the fire alarm bells were going off, and Spree answered the call. They called all the dogs back from the west, all the flanks out west, and I think that was it. I think this was the one shot they had, and Spree just did a great job, wonderful job of smashing it and calling everybody back. And look, barely any blue dots anymore. They went for it. Just wasn't. Yeah, it would have been nice if that Panther was still up, pushing it into the point like that. I guess felt necessary, but you've got Ford, Vandy, Crustin, just sitting, watching anything that comes up. They're in a great position. I don't think. Pretty much anything that comes out of the cemetery just north of Sainte-Marie-du-Mont. Yeah, the entire H column covered. Tank 7.6, no problem. So Airhead, I want to say, are they going for it? Why not? Going for the 4-1. I believe this would be Enchon dropping it. Giving it a 30 damage, just waiting for a touchdown. There's the blueprint. Dan's got this in the bag. Oop. I hate going through the... But anyway, Danny's about to take that one out, and down it goes. Yeah, you take your shot. Why not? So, critical time. It's 2 minutes remaining. GOF is completely pressed up on their final point. It's not looking good. I think the only way a Spree loses is if they get overly aggressive and just say, screw it, throw caution to the wind and just go for that 4th point. And everybody from GOF just pushes straight up into the hard cap. But, yeah. Ford, Vandy, and Crustin they're not going to let that happen. Big spawn in. Cammy's not in a tank. Omen, they're all just regular ground and pound with ultimate. Cammy, the MG kill, but again, remember, what's watching to the north? That guy. And he's not letting you out of the cemetery. In fact, he's going to bury you in there. He's got a tombstone waiting for you. Meanwhile, on the cap, the point to the north of St. Marie, they're kind of bottled up. I think we all kind of know it's GG. And I believe in about 14 seconds it's going to end this way. So 5 seconds from now, it's going to be, and shall be, 3-2 win for... Yes, sir! Spree with the big dub today. Congratulations. Well played, guys. I mean, flashy? No. But effective? Absolutely. Just literally won the war of attrition. That's what I'm going to say it was. It was a war of attrition. I mean, they took a shot early, I think. They flexed the 4th point, maybe about a quarter of the way. But for the most part, they were very content. Solid win. A win is a win. 5-0, 4-1, 3-2. You know, why take the risks? You know, this is a Spree's first opportunity to play comp in a meaningful match, not a scrim, as a 50 on their own. You know, and I would say Incheon and the rest of the guys probably pretty satisfied with obviously the win and the way they played, because I don't think at any point they were truly worried once they took the mid back of losing it. So played just a solid round. Now, well, we got the time. Let's just pull up. We always like to check scores. Sneaky Commander building those garrisons. Craven putting up 300. That's a nice sell. Muck with a little bit of a tough day. Kill switch, good numbers. Iron Ranger, well done, buddy. Engineer AT, yeah, he's got some kills with that. Myth, nice. Prankster, yeah, these guys were on defense, if I remember, on the east side, all the way against the H. Yeah, but you know, overall, I mean, solid numbers. Anybody big here? High Speed Hilly, what did I tell you at the pregame? He was just going to be a threat. 600 combat effectiveness. And there it is, 3-2. Let's just get through the rest of these. Digi, Recon, probably most of the day. All right. Pretty nice. Valhalla, look at this guy. AT probably got a couple tank kills. Now this man, Hitman, oh, tank crew, okay, 2,000, you know, modest, nothing crazy. But like I said, a win is a win. You never ever take that off. And we're gonna jump right back into the studio. Yeah, and that's how it goes down, boys and girls. GOF takes the early lead, played really well. I mean, that opener was impressive. I was impressed. Originally, it was GOF, then a Spree took it back, and then we're starting to cap it themselves. A couple nice arty strikes in the beginning. They solidified. They had the mid for about 10 minutes, but what they couldn't do was get a Spree off of Pierre's farm proper. And, you know, if you can't eliminate the threat, and they're always in the cap, you know, it's a multiplier of 3. You know, that's what happened. They maybe pushed out too early, didn't do a good enough job of cleaning up the midpoint. I know the tankers were pretty solid in the middle, holding that hard point, but the infantry was not cleared out. And after about 10 minutes, the Spree takes the mid and holds it for pretty much a little over an hour, gets the W. So, solid win. For GOF, though, they're going to go back and they'll watch the tape, and I think they'll do a better job of making sure once they work so hard to get something, to make sure it's cleaned out real good. You know, don't worry so much about the flanks. Again, they'll watch the VOD and see kind of maybe it was a communication thing where somebody got the call that, okay, the mid is clear, the tank's there, we got no problems, and they pushed off, you know, west to get that map control when the mid really wasn't really under control. And it's something simple like that. One little false move like that where you think it's cleared out and it's not, and once you lose it to a Spree, I mean, they put that point on lock and didn't give it up. So it could have been a different story if the mid got cleared out and GOF had an opportunity to get those garrisons and bring those tanks up. Could have been a different story. Slight difference, but you know what? Woulda, coulda, shoulda. It was a Spree's day today. They're off to 1-0, and for the next week, I don't know who they're playing. And GOF, you know, 0-1, and they're going to go back to the drawing board and, you know, learn from the mistakes they made. But it was an entertaining match, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. And again, HLL Gadarian, make sure you hit that subscribe, hit that follow. It's been a pleasure. You guys enjoy the rest of your evening, and we'll catch you on the next one.